Deep inside the magnificent palace of Versailles, illuminated by countless flickering candles, a weary quiet figure stands alone before a towering glass window. Louis XIV, the lonely hermit standing at the peak of absolute power within the grand palace, and the quiet night wanderer endlessly longing for peaceful liberation. He bears countless heavy imperial secrets upon his solid royal throne, escaping endless daytime audiences and tedious court rituals to quietly listen to the ancient gentle breathing of the earth in the silent midnight. Tonight, accompanied by softly glowing bonfire flames, listen sincerely to the inner voice of the great Sun King hidden deep within the endless dark night. Follow low, slow, soothing whispers amid the tranquil atmosphere of ancient trilobites slowly settling on the Devonian seabed. Indulge in pure undisturbed relaxation and drift steadily into peaceful deep sleep. Have you ever imagined that this arrogant cold French monarch, recorded in rigid history textbooks, could also possess extremely tender gentle moments? The faint rustling sound of flowing silk fabric made by Louis XIV wandering between silent mirror halls and heavy velvet curtains becomes his quiet signal to escape chaotic reality and search for inner tranquility. When he finally retreats into his deepest private chamber, in the dead of night, his mind drifts back hundreds of millions of years, visualizing massive groups of ancient trilobites slowly sinking into soft seabed sediment. Tonight there is no noisy commotion, no trivial chaos, only faint residual warmth flowing from ancient history and the gentle rhythm of slow seawater brushing across primeval seabed rock, soothing your body and mind into complete relaxation. Let go of all your heavy daytime guards and allow this lonely monarch, burdened by immense temporal pressure, to accompany you into undisturbed peaceful deep slumber. Some destinies touch human souls profoundly, not through devastating ruin but through extreme restraint and elegant calm. After gaining supreme worldly power, the entire life of Louis XIV consists of a prolonged silent inner gamble, healing countless unspeakable inner scars with rigorous imperial order throughout the endless flow of time. When the last candle flame fades into darkness, massive groups of ancient trilobites slowly burrow into seabed mud, bringing the entire world into absolute motionless stillness. This exclusive customized late-night radio sleep story carries the heavy weight of fate and the tender breath of quiet night. Close your eyes, gently listen to soft breezes sweeping across the dry ancient fountains of Versailles, and watch this delicate lonely soul sink slowly into peaceful endless slumber within the boundless dark night. As the last heavy candle inside Versailles is gently extinguished by a silver trimming scissor, endless dark night tides flood into the empty mirror hall holding the core of European power. The silent French midnight is so tranquil that people can clearly hear tiny dewdrops falling upon dense shrubbery, maintaining a steady profound ancient rhythm. Standing before a huge baroque floor-to-ceiling window, a tired soul draped in thick velvet sleeping robes, half hidden within soft shadows, remains motionless. Tonight, curl up beside warm flickering bonfires and follow this effortless gentle tale to explore the truest hidden soul of Louis XIV. Long defined as an arrogant domineering absolute monarch known as the Sun King in cold textbooks, he is merely a symbol of glorious empire. Yet if we travel back 400 million years to the isolated primitive Devonian ocean and discard exaggerated historical glory and prejudice, you will discover an entirely different, vulnerable, quiet soul endowed with elegant posture and steady footsteps, capable of wandering freely through changing European political situations. He often lingers silently beside star-shimmering mirror hall railings. Beneath his noble gorgeous exterior beats a restless heart wrapped tightly by supreme royal power, endlessly craving pure undisturbed tranquility. During countless sleepless midnight hours his mind constantly wanders toward ancient fossilized trilobites resting quietly within museum rock layers. In his quiet imagination, thousands upon thousands of ancient marine creatures contract their bodies naturally, drifting slowly downwards to nestle peacefully within soft seabed sediment. This boundless serene scene carries powerful white noise, hypnotic comfort, becoming his only spiritual shelter to resist insomnia and overwhelming royal pressure. Now adjust your breathing to match this ancient steady rhythm. Release all accumulated daily fatigue and let this timeless ancient echo guide you into the most reassuring peaceful dreamland. This solitary lonely ruler endured countless intense political conspiracies and brutal European conflicts during his long reign, leaving countless invisible cracks and healed scars deep inside his heart. He witnessed drastic shifts in court power, changing noble bloodlines and the gradual fading of ancient marine predators, yet his firm will to survive never wavered. This long-term heavy mental pressure never drove him crazy or irritable, instead granting him thorough worldly insight, gentle compassion and unshakable inner calm. Tonight let this stable ancient power from prehistoric times turn into soft midnight breeze, gently smoothing away all anxiety, unease and trivial troubles hidden deep within your heart. Beneath the vast open French land before the construction of Versailles, boundless serene tranquility permeates every corner of the earth, while the supreme royal throne remains narrow and lonely for only one single ruler. Contrary to common public imagination, Louis XIV never indulged in luxurious entertainment and extravagant debauchery. Throughout his reign, most of his precious time is spent in slow meditative patrols, resembling ascetic self-discipline, a prolonged quiet inner struggle belonging solely to the supreme monarch. His gorgeous heavy royal robes are supported by tall firm bones, every slow deliberate step leaving faint clear marks on damp peat soil and cold smooth marble floors. He maintains an extremely slow suppressed tranquil rhythm, resisting cumbersome court etiquette and complicated palace terrain, accompanied by the faint crisp rustle of withered leaves crushing under his feet. Soft corridor breezes brush across his aging, scarred skin, gently dispersing residual warmth and wrapping his body in refreshing night chill. He slightly lowers his solemn heavy head, decorated with unique conical ornaments above his elegant wig, his deep wise eyes shimmering with restrained intelligence within dim palace shadows. Weak noble attendants tremble quietly within dark velvet corners, completely ignored by the passing monarch. At this supreme level of authority, power is no longer a tool to vent anger or display dominance, merely an instinctive ceremonial way of survival. Standing alone beneath tall stone palace pillars, he overlooks the vast quiet French plain, gradually falling into midnight slumber, accompanied only by murmuring flowing fountain water and his own deep heavy steady breathing. No equal companion can stand beside him, no opponent dares meet his solemn quiet gaze. This pervasive invisible deterrence eventually traps him in an isolated vacuum of endless loneliness. Within this solitary quiet world, time loses its urgent flowing speed, every single minute stretching into an endless quiet epoch, and he becomes the only steady ticking pendulum of this magnificent era. Every grand empire requires clear territorial boundaries, and for Louis XIV these invisible dividing lines are carved by cruel wars, natural disasters and brutal betrayals. Amid central French lands trapped between foreign invasions and internal rebellions, the junction of royal power always holds suffocating tense unease. On one exceptionally dull silent evening, the air grows thick and heavy, distant crimson earth releasing sultry heat into the hazy sky. Isolated by vast oceans, royal resources remain extremely scarce, forcing even close blood relatives to draw cruel invisible dividing lines for survival. Two powerful political giants standing at the peak of European power halt simultaneously 100 meters apart, the surrounding air solidifying completely, with all distant wind noises fading away. Unlike impulsive reckless usurpers, Louis XIV stays perfectly motionless, gently shifting his body weight backward. He restrains his rarely exposed fragile emotions. Deep within his chest, his weathered, scarred head glinting coldly under the dying sunset, radiating silent unshakable inner determination, he slowly parts his solemn lips, whispering the timeless royal maxim, "I am the state," rolling out deep low resonant vibrations from the bottom of his chest. This profound sound is never meant for provocation, it is a weary solemn warning filled with disdain for meaningless futile conflicts. Upon hearing this soul-stirring low tone, the invading rival abandons violent rage, overwhelmed by primal fear. Toward the monarch's abundant experience and unbreakable perseverance, time flows extremely slowly throughout the silent confrontation, until the young intruder bows his head, retreating cautiously into dense bushes and dark political shadows. Louis XIV watches his foe vanish into the distance, cold vigilance fading into deep desolate melancholy before turning away, leaving his lonely solemn silhouette against the crimson dusk. He understands clearly that every confrontation and quiet compromise is never cowardice, but a silent wise choice to preserve the faint precious flame of life for longer, quieter, darker nights. The terrifying memory of being brutally expelled from the palace, sneaking away in cold trembling carriages during the Fronde Rebellion, remains the deepest irreversible mark engraved by fate upon Louis XIV. Many people casually attribute his later vanity and extreme desire for power control to this traumatic experience, yet in his own inner world these fragmented psychological scars become precious metals, symbolizing unbreakable mental resilience forced by the cruel, treacherous court environment. He abandons all fragility and compromise, pouring every ounce of mental energy into building his highly centralized, powerful regime. Extreme physical and psychological toughness gradually shapes his solitary, restrained, decisive personality. During quiet midnight hours, wandering inside his private chamber, his sensitive nerves, healed from countless assassination plots and political conspiracies, endow him with unique weathered charm. He resembles an exquisitely crafted sharp blade, deliberately hiding Its piercing edge wandering through dark gaps searching for gentle steady breathing rhythms. Life always compensates for losses with precious gifts, and Louis XIV's greatest reward is unparalleled political calm and firm determination. He never blindly expands territory to conquer the entire world. His solitary powerful existence itself is an elegant silent rebellion against unpredictable cruel fate. After growing accustomed to exchanging inner vulnerability for eternal stability, all external misunderstanding, ridicule and judgment turn into trivial rustling wind, never stirring any ripples in his peaceful heart. He silently bears his heavy royal secrets, walking steadily and resolutely through the darkest quiet corners of the palace. When external oppressive pressure and cruel survival competition reach their extreme, every living creature instinctively seeks an absolute safe harbor to embrace hidden vulnerability. After lengthy quiet patrols and invisible political confrontations, Louis XIV finally walks toward a secluded secret sanctuary hidden deep within Versailles, concealed behind towering granite pillars. This private chamber is completely isolated from external noise, prying eyes and trivial worldly disturbances. The ground is covered with thick soft cushions woven from luxurious velvet and natural moss, absorbing all heavy footsteps and eliminating unnecessary noise. Upon entering this quiet sanctuary, his constantly tensed vigilant muscles gradually release accumulated fatigue and tension. Freed from the terrifying title of the invincible Sun King dominating Europe, he simply becomes a weary, tired traveler. He steps gently on soft velvet carpets, producing faint soothing rustles, slowly approaching a smooth flat weathered stone wall deep inside the chamber. The stone wall is carved with ancient Devonian trilobite fossils, emitting faint tranquil earthy fragrance under dim candlelight, calming restlessness and soothing inner chaos. He circles the quiet stone wall twice, performing an ancient solemn bedtime ritual, carefully inspecting every hidden corner to ensure absolute safety. Within this pure secluded space there is no competition, no betrayal, no hostile greedy gazes, only eternal silence and unconditional tolerance. All cruel worldly rules and political conflicts lose their power inside this exclusive private fortress, leaving only the gentle tender caress of the quiet night wrapping around his lonely soul. He crouches slowly against the cool textured stone wall, feeling stable warm geothermal temperature seeping from tiny stone cracks, calming his long uneasy anxious heart into perfect peaceful stillness. Deep into the silent midnight hour, the entire French land falls into profound slumber, marking the final step of Louis XIV's tranquil sleeping ritual. Beside a sheltered mahogany bed he pauses, gently enduring immense patience to complete the simple lying down movement. With his tall burdened body he slowly bends his slender sturdy legs, lowering his heavy torso inch by inch toward the silky velvet bedding. When his streamlined chest gently touches the soft bed surface, a long warm satisfied sigh flows out from his nasal cavity. His cold ruthless hands, once feared across the entire continent, lie quietly against his chest, presenting docility and piety. He tenderly rests his head, slightly deformed from long-term crown wearing, upon soft moss-like silk pillows. Moonlight filters through delicate carved window grills, casting dappled silver glimmers across his wide back and flowing sleeping robe. His breathing slows into prolonged gentle rhythms, every steady exhale echoing the ancient rhythmic movement of trilobites contracting bodies and sinking into seabed sediment, making surrounding heavy curtains tremble softly like the slow heartbeat of the ancient earth. Inside this absolutely safe hidden fortress he finally abandons all royal vigilance, allowing soft sleeping tides to wrap around his body. All iron-blooded political tactics and intimidating dominance fade away under gentle moonlight, retaining only pure primitive life, texture and serene tranquility within this long dream spanning millions of years and magnificent palace walls. He discovers the peaceful fearless world he has spent his entire life pursuing, free from trivial daytime troubles, free from anxious worries about the unpredictable future. He merges into pure silence, resonating gently with the deepest frequency of the vast universe. Endless flowing time pours like continuous rain, washing away the glorious monarchical age and the ancient Devonian ocean, turning splendid dynasties and marine creatures into cold silent rock fossils. Yet Louis XIV's wisdom of seeking tranquility amid rustling velvet curtains and his restrained elegant footsteps transform into the softest safest barrier guarding your peaceful sleep tonight. The heavy loneliness of standing at the peak of power has faded, leaving only pure gentle companionship and unconditional tolerance. The ancient quiet seabed and secluded stone canyon now wrap around you, tenderly isolating all external noise, anxiety and disturbance. You lie quietly inside your own exclusive safe harbor, surrounded by soft flowing breeze and the faint lingering breath of this noble lonely soul. Relax your shoulders completely, let your thoughts sink slowly into the deepest soft slumber, just like ancient trilobites resting peacefully in seabed mud. The stars remain bright and brilliant, the Quiet night spreads with endless tender warmth, and your sweet long dream has quietly arrived. Drift slowly into the deepest darkness following this calm soothing ancient rhythm. Sleep well, dear friend, may you embrace steady undisturbed deep rest within this pure tranquil dreamland, free from all worldly noise.